And now let's go live to Watercube, where President Xi Jinping is about to welcome leaders of APEC economies and also the host partners countries. Tony Abbott from Australia is received by President Xi Jinping and his wife Peng Liyuan. They're wearing traditional Chinese suits. Of course, Peng Liyuan wear traditional Chinese qipao.
We'll have the photo here. Your Majesty.
President Xi Jinping is about to receive the leaders of the APEC economies. We just saw President Xi receiving Prime Minister Abbott and now Sultan of Brunei. Next, Prime Minister Harper from Canada and his wife, received by President Xi and his wife. Chilean President Michelle Bachelet wearing pink, being received by President Xi inside the Watercube for the dinner tonight. Chile, of course, is a member of APEC economies, and President Bachelet gave a speech at the APEC Economic CEOs Leaders meeting yesterday. Chief Executive of Hong Kong's Special Administrative Region, Liang Chenying, is being received by President Xi and Peng Liyuan. President Xi talked with Mr. Liang yesterday and lended support for Hong Kong's rule of law and the performance of Hong Kong government. President Joko Widodo of Indonesia, he was just elected in October, came from the grassroots, and he is received by President Xi Jinping, together with his wife. It is his first trip to China as president of Indonesia, largest economy in APEC, in ASEAN. Then is followed by Prime Minister Abe and Mrs. Abe of Japan. This is the first time Prime Minister Abe meet President Xi Jinping since they took office. President of South Korea, Park Geun-hye, meet President Xi Jinping. And this morning, China and South Korea has just announced they have finished the talks on free trade agreement negotiations. That means it is not far China and South Korea will establish a free trade area. Prime Minister Razak Najib from Malaysia and his wife are now greeted by President Xi Jinping and Peng Liyuan. It is interesting to know that they all wear traditional Chinese suits. Next is President Enrique Pena Nieto. He just arrived in Beijing today to attend the APEC meetings. He's accompanied by his wife and is welcomed by President Xi and his wife, Peng Liyuan. President Xi is wearing red and his wife, Peng Liyuan, wearing green.
新西兰总理
That's a
约翰基
combination.
和夫人
Followed by Prime Minister John Key from New Zealand and his wife. Prime Minister Key arrived in Beijing on Sunday. He has been Prime Minister since 2008. And China is among the major trade partners of New Zealand.
巴布亚新几内亚总理奥尼尔
Prime Minister Peter
Fred.
O'Neill of Papua New Guinea is now being greeted by President Xi and his wife. Well, Papua New Guinea is a diverse country culturally in the world. It has been enjoying soaring growth in mining and resources. And China is the biggest investor in Papua New Guinea, especially in its infrastructure.
秘鲁总统乌马拉
And this is President Ollanta Humala of Peru. Peru is an upper middle income country by the World Bank. It's a member of APEC. And Peru chaired APEC meetings back in 2008.
菲律宾总统阿基
Followed
诺
by President Benigno Aquino III. He has been president of the Philippines since June 2010. He also made a speech at the CEO summit of APEC yesterday.
普京总统
Next is President Putin wearing traditional Chinese suit. He has met President Xi several times this year and elevated the relationship between China and Russia. And they signed a big energy deal between the two countries, sending gas from
李显
Russia
龙
to
总
China.
理和夫人
Prime Minister Lee Hsien-loong of Singapore. Prime Minister Lee is no stranger to China. He has visited China many times, this time along with his wife attending APEC summit here in Beijing.
萧万长先生
Next is
和夫人
Mr. Xiao Wanchang. He is the chairman of Taiwan-based Cross-Strait Common Market Foundation. He's accompanied by his wife. Mr. Xiao has been devoted to Taiwan's integration with regional economies. President Xi met him yesterday. During their talks, President Xi said the mainland and Taiwan should respect each other and both sides should develop mutual trust based on commitment to upholding the 1992
泰
consensus.
国总理巴育和夫人
And next is Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and his wife. Thailand is now governed by the military. Prime Minister Chan-o-cha used to serve as a general in Thailand. The military took power in May this year in Thailand. And Thailand is one of the founding members of APEC and the host for APEC meetings in
美国
2003.
总统奥巴马
President Barack Obama is being met by his host, President Xi Jinping, wearing a green suit. Of course, Mr. Obama will also have extensive talks with President Xi the day after tomorrow, after the APEC Leaders Summit, covering a wide range of issues, including security, economy, and military.
越南国家主席张晋创
Vietnamese President Chon Tan San is in Beijing for the APEC Economics Leaders Meeting. He's met by President Xi and his wife. Vietnam is a leading agriculture exporter and is an attractive destination for foreign investment. President Abdul Hamid from Bangladesh and his wife. Well, Bangladesh is not an APEC member economy, but it's the host of Partners Dialogue countries and is a traditional friend of China. The host Partners Dialogue countries are those who are involved in strengthening connectivity and improving cooperation in China's neighborhood. But Bangladesh has always been keen to be a prospective regional, sub-regional cooperative process. President Chumali of Laos. Laos is also a host Partners Dialogue country, is a neighbor of China. Laos economy depend on investment and trade with its neighbors, Thailand, Vietnam, especially China. Followed by President Sakyajin Elbadorji and his wife. President Elbadorji has been president of Mongolia since 2009 and has been trying to apply for a membership of APEC. Of course, mining is the mainstay of Mongolian industry, particularly copper and coal, which covers for 20% of its GDP. Now, Chinese President Xi is taking a photo with leaders who join in the Host Partners Dialogue. The Host Partners Dialogue is on strengthening connectivity and improving cooperation in China's neighborhood. It was attended by leaders of Bangladesh, Cambodia, Laos, Mongolia, Myanmar, Pakistan, and Tajikistan, and representative of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, this is a live feed from inside the water cube, also known as the National Aquatic Center. President Xi Jinping, his wife Peng Yuan, walk and talk with President Obama. They are about to take a family photo of APEC economic leaders. Well, this is inside the water cube, where the 2008 Olympic Games was held. President Xi and other APEC leaders will have that photo taken. APEC economies account for approximately 40% of the world's population, 57% of the GDP, and 48% of the trade. That shows how important this bloc is in the world. But this region is regarded as the global growth engine, the fastest growing part of the world. Unprecedented development potential, with its strategic importance being increasingly recognized. This group photo obviously demonstrated how much weight this economy carries on its shoulder. This is the second time China has played host to APEC leaders since it joined the regional grouping in 1991. That organization actually started in 1989 as a ministerial level meeting, but it was later on upgraded to economic leaders meeting. High on meeting's agenda are the launch of the process for a regional free trade area and promoting regional interconnectivity through infrastructure. If all goes well, the Beijing meeting will serve as another opportunity for the world's largest developing economies to make better contributions to regional and world development. Well, during the Leaders Summit, Xi Jinping will hold bilateral meetings with many APEC leaders on the sidelines, hopefully can making inroads into trade agreements and investment deals this time around. So this is our water cube. Of course, it is paved with glass, I presume, over the pool. So the leaders can walk above the pool to have their photo taken. APEC economic leaders and their wives, led by President Xi and Peng Liyuan, into the water cube. President Xi is now talking to President Putin and Sultan of Brunei. So maybe this is an occasion for the leaders to have more private space, to know each other better, besides their talks in meeting rooms and boarding rooms.